Okay, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the routine weekly briefing for Central North Carolina, covering the period from today, November 9th, through next Wednesday, November 15th. I'm meteorologist James Danko here with the National Weather Service in Raleigh, and now let's go ahead and get started. So first, taking a look at the upcoming weather pattern for Central North Carolina over the next week. We've got a cold front that will be moving through our area tonight and tomorrow, and a weak wave of low pressure riding along that front will bring some very light rain and drizzle potentially to parts of the area tomorrow. And this is especially over the Northwest Piedmont. Amounts look very light. And there will also be, regardless of any rain, there is going to be widespread overcast skies tomorrow. And then we dry out, it looks like, Friday night and Saturday, and then rain chances return on Saturday night and Sunday as that front still lingers to our south and another wave of low pressure rides along it. And that rain looks like it could be a little bit more than what we're potentially seeing tomorrow, but still not anything too heavy. As for temperatures this weekend, they're going to turn much cooler behind the cold front with northerly flow. Highs are only expected to be in the 50s, maybe even some upper 40s across the far north. And with that, however, cloud cover will actually keep the temperatures warmer at night. It'll help keep them from dropping too low. So we're expecting lows mainly in the 40s. And then high pressure will finally clear things out with dry weather and mostly clear skies from Monday through Wednesday, and temperatures remaining slightly below normal, but a bit warmer than this weekend. Highs looking like in the upper 50s to mid 60s. So looking at forecast rainfall amounts, not expecting really anything measurable today. And then tomorrow, the forecast from the Weather Prediction Center just has essentially the Triad region in getting a few hundredths of an inch. So it's really looking very light if anything falls tomorrow. Saturday, mainly dry, however, can't rule out another few hundredths across the far south as that front kind of stalls over South Carolina and Georgia. And then front lingers on Sunday, another wave will bring, looks like about a quarter to a half inch across southern areas, the Sandhills, central and southern coastal plain. And then amounts decrease as you go to the north into Raleigh and Greensboro, but still maybe around a tenth to a quarter inch. And then we dry out on Monday. So we're going to be far too stable for any thunderstorms with any of this rain tomorrow and this weekend. So just looking like stratiform rain, no storms expected. And these amounts of a quarter to a half inch at most are not going to cause any flooding concerns. Plus, we've been so dry lately. So no threat of excessive rain or flooding over the next few days. The tropics are very quiet. The Hurricane Center is still monitoring the Atlantic, but there's nothing that's even at this time that could develop over the next week. The hurricane season is starting to wind down, but it's not over yet. It officially ends on November 30th. So the main story is the drought conditions across our areas. As we've seen, it's been very dry lately across really much of the state of North Carolina, especially out west. So the mountains and foothills are in D2 or severe drought, and this, by the way, was just released this morning, and this graphic was made by the North Carolina State Climate Office. And so the very dry conditions out west have resulted in 3 large wildfires, as well as burn bans. As of now, the wildfires and burn bans have been just outside of our forecast area, just west to the west. And there's also been water conservation requests out in Boone, places like that. However, they have extended the D2 severe drought into parts of our area, generally the parts of the southwestern Piedmont and western Sandhills. You can see here that stream flows across the Sandhills have actually fallen below their historical 10th percentile for this time of year. So it's really been very dry lately. And even across the rest of central North Carolina, they're still in D1 or moderate drought, or D0, which is abnormally dry across generally from the Triangle region eastward. So taking a look at the days 8 to 14, what we're looking at from the Climate Prediction Center, you can see that there's increased chances of above normal temperatures across the whole area and slightly increased chances of wetter than normal conditions. We'll see if that does verify. Hopefully it does, to help us with these drought conditions. And hopefully we start to transition to more of a typical El Nino wetter type pattern, but we will see. And just for reference, normal temperatures this time of year are in the upper 50s, in 8 to 14 days. Normal highs are in the upper 50s to mid 60s and lows in the upper 30s to low 40s. So to summarize, a cold front will cross the area tonight and tomorrow. So with that, some very light rain and drizzle will be possible, especially around the Triad region. And then the front will stall to our south and rain chances return Saturday night and Sunday, especially across the south, closer to where that front will be. Slightly higher amounts will be possible than what we'll be seeing tomorrow, but still not expecting more than 1/4 to 1/2 inch. And then we're dry from Monday through Wednesday. Temperatures will be much cooler this weekend, and then slightly rebounding for early next week, highs in the upper 50s to mid 60s. And really the only hazard and impact that we're worried about right now is the drought conditions, as I mentioned before. So the D2 severe drought for the first time has crept into southwestern parts of the area, and there's been large wildfires and burn bans across the mountains and foothills just to our west. And there's also continued abnormally dry and moderate drought conditions across the rest of the area. All right, thank you for listening. Does anyone have any questions?